What are you cooking, Hilaria?
I don't really know yet. I'm just gonna make things.
There's some peppers in there.
There are peppers. I'm gonna make some
do you grow
shishito
stuff here?
peppers. We do. We have a whole beautiful garden that I just went to and got all this stuff from.
You and Brendan, like fresh vegetables out of the garden?
I don't like picking the stuff, but I like eating it.
I love having a full house. I always grew up with a very big, full house. I think it's one of the reasons I had so many kids. And what I love even more is when the house is even fuller. And so 2 of our friends are coming to visit us.
I want to prove that I actually have friends that are adult men who have careers and are intelligent people. It's not all just, scraping gum off my rug all day long.
When you go to therapy, it's about self-awareness, it's about release, it's about moving through things. So when I see him with his friends, I think that this is going to be a big part of our healing journey, is to grow and walk forward with the people who stood with us the entire time. And I'm just so grateful to them.
I was like, oh, that's nice. Alec got me a robe. He gave me a bathrobe for Christmas.
Is it in your apartment, your house?
Have his monogram on it, or is
It's in
it
your
just?
house. No, you didn't leave
But
it
I
in the
look
other
very regal in it.
You can't not look regal in a robe, though.
It's nice to watch him, chat with them, connect with them. I always hear funny and interesting stories.
The story that I think is kind of amazing, what we were doing before you met her.
Wait, are you talking about when we meet?
Do you remember that night?
Of course I do. That's a very vivid night. When I met my wife, oh my God, it was just magical. I met your mother in a restaurant in New York City. She was with 2 friends of hers. I was with my friend Brendan.
We're at this place, and with my 2 girlfriends, and we're drinking a glass of wine, and my friend, she hit me. She like whacked me. She's like, Hilaria, shh, Alec Baldwin is looking at you.
Did you even know who Alec Baldwin was?
I knew who he was because I had seen Working Girl a few times, because Yaya really liked Working Girl. So I leaned over, and he was looking at me, and I winked at him, because that's like the cringiest thing that you could possibly do. But you know what? I was like at least 1 glass of wine in. And when I was leaving, I had to walk right by him. And he took my hand and he said, "Who are you? I must know you." And I was like, okay, well, at least now he's being cringy too, because that's like a really bad line.
Worked like magic. Look at it. Look at us now.
And then you said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "I'm from Boston." And you're like, "No, you're not." And I was like, "Actually, I am." And then that was like an omen of what was to come. I mean, it's these chance meetings, these chance moments that everybody has in their life. They're pretty fascinating.
Yeah, one chance encounter at a bar, and now...
And I have 7 kids.
I liked her on site.
Obviously, our age difference is there. I'm always insecure. Even when I went to have dinner with him, I felt like it was a big deal for somebody to bring me out to dinner. I mean, I was in the land of like, you split the check, and it was a big deal that he, paid for dinner. I didn't take that lightly. And then he just texted back, "What do you think about dating somebody who's 26 years older than you?" And I was like, oh.
She did date people who were age appropriate for her. When I met her, she was very young, so they're very young. And I'd meet them, and I was like, okay, I get it. They're very handsome and very super fit guys, and they're about as interesting as watching, the grass grow.
It's one of the things I really appreciate about him, that he was very into consent, very into he asked to kiss me for the first time, because he kept on making plans about our future, and I was like,
I want to marry you and have 7 children. May I kiss you?
But I wanted to have my kids, and I wanted them to look good, and that's why.
You wanted to have a baby with a good-looking guy.
I wanted to have a baby with a good-looking guy. You could have been like anybody. You were just the first good-looking guy that walked up to me. So I was like, okay, he will do.
I'm the first good-looking guy.
Hilaria, have you dated an actor before?
No. Well, I mean, I wouldn't date an actor when he was an actor. I dated an actor who then got to be on Broadway, and we went to go see him naked.
I've seen one of the loves of her life naked.
Not the love of my life.
He was one of the loves of her life. He was a very important boyfriend of hers. And we went to go see him on Broadway, and he was naked. In his whole, as our British friends, he had his bits out. We went to go see Take Me Out, the musical that our dear friend Scott Ellis directed, and all these baseball players were in the locker room, and they were all turned around naked with their dongs hanging out. And he's there, her boyfriend, and I recognize him. I met him before. And when he turns around with his personality hanging out, I'm like, oh, okay. He had like a clarinet hanging from his pants. The guy literally turns around, and we were all like, whoa.
I think you remember this more than I do.
And when you meet him backstage, we go out into the lobby, we meet them all. And her boyfriend comes and I'm like, hey, how you doing?
And I was like, I'm going to stay over here.
And you can't pay attention to a word he's saying. He's standing right here talking to me. I'm sitting looking at him going, and he's looking at me going, yeah, you know, the show and this and that and this. And I'm like, you have like a baseball bat that you stuff into your pants every day. How does that work for you? All right, let's move on from that subject.
Wasn't on my list of
I felt it had to be told. It had to be told.